How did you fare in your foreign voyage, dear Beowulf, when you abruptly decided to sail away across the salt water and fight at Herot? Did you help Hrothgar much in the end? Could you ease the prince of his well-known troubles? Your undertaking cast my spirits down. I dreaded the outcome of your expedition, and pleaded with you long and hard to leave the killer be. Let the South Danes settle their own blood feud with Grendel. So God be thanked, I am granted this sight of you, safe and sound. Beowulf, son of Ecgtheow, spoke. What happened, Lord Higlac, is hardly a secret any more among men in this world. Myself and Grendel coming to grips on the very spot where he visited destruction on the Victory Shieldings, and violated life and limb. Losses I avenged, no earthly offspring of Grendel's need ever boast of that bout before dawn, no matter how long the last of his evil family survives. When I first landed, I hastened to the ring hall and saluted Hrothgar. Once he discovered why I had come, the son of Halfdane sent me immediately to sit with his own sons on the bench. It was a happy gathering. In my whole life I have never seen mead enjoyed more in any hall on earth. Sometimes the queen herself appeared, peace pledged between nations, to hearten the young ones, and hand out a torque to a warrior, then take her place. Sometimes Hrothgar's daughter distributed ale to older ranks, in order on the benches. I heard the company call her Friaweru, as she made her rounds, presenting men with the gem-studded bowl, young bride-to-be to the gracious Ingeld. In her gold-trimmed attire, the friend of the Shieldings favoured her betrothal. The guardian of the kingdom sees good in it, and hopes this woman will heal old wounds and grievous feuds. But generally the spear is prompt to retaliate when a prince is killed, no matter how admirable the bride may be. Think how the Heathobards will be bound to feel their lord, Ingeld, and his royal thanes, when he walks in with that woman to the feast. Danes are at the table, being entertained, honoured guests in glittering regalia, burnished ring-mail that was their host's birthright, looted when the Heathobards could no longer wield their weapons in the shield clash, when they went down with their beloved comrades and forfeited their lives. Then an old spearman will speak while they are drinking, having glimpsed some heirloom that brings alive memories of the massacre. His mood will darken, and hot-stricken, in the stress of his emotion, he will begin to test a young man's temper and stir up trouble, starting like this. Now, my friend, don't you recognize your father's sword, his favorite weapon, the one he wore when he went out in his war mask to face the Danes on that final day? After Weathergeld died and his men were doomed, the Shieldings quickly claimed the field, and now here's a son of one or other of those same killers coming through our hall, overbearing us, mouthing boasts, and rigged in armor that by right is yours, and so he keeps on, recalling and accusing, working things up with bitter words until one of the lady's retainers lies spattered in blood, split open on his father's account. The killer knows the lie of the land and escapes with his life. Then both sides, the oath-bound lords, will break the peace. A passionate hate will build up in Ingeld, and love for his bride will falter in him as the feud rankles. I therefore suspect the good faith of the Heathobards, the truth of their friendship, and the trustworthiness of their alliance with the Danes. But now, my lord, I shall carry on with my account of Grendel, the whole story of everything that happened in the hand-to-hand fight. After Heaven's gem had gone mildly to earth, that maddened spirit, the terror of those twilights, came to attack us, where we stood guard, still safe inside the hall. There deadly violence came down on Hansio, and he fell as fate ordained, the first to perish. Rigged out for the combat, a comrade from our ranks had come to grief in Grendel's maw. He ate up the entire body. There was blood on his teeth. He was bloated and furious, all roused up, yet still unready to leave the hall empty-handed. Renowned for his might, he matched himself against me. Wildly reaching, he had this roomy pouch, a strange accoutrement, intricately strung and hung at the ready, a rare patchwork of devilishly fitted dragon skins. I had done him no wrong, yet the raging demon wanted to cram me and many others into this bag. But it was not meant to be once I got to my feet in a blind fury. It would take too long to tell how I repaid the terror of the land for every life he took, and so won credit for you, my king, and for all your people. And although he got away to enjoy life's sweetness for a while longer, his right hand stayed behind him in Herot, evidence of his miserable overthrow, as he dived into murk on the mere bottom. I got lavish rewards from the Lord of the Danes for my part in the battle, beaten gold and much else. Once morning came, and we took our places at the banquet table. There was singing and excitement. An old reciter, a carrier of stories, recalled the early days. At times some hero made the timbered harp tremble with sweetness, or related true and tragic happenings. At times the king gave the proper turn to some fantastic tale, or a time-scarred veteran, bowed with age, would begin to remember the martial deeds of his youth and prime and be overcome as the past welled up in his wintry heart. We were happy there the whole day long and enjoyed our time until another night descended upon us. Then suddenly and vehemently Mother avenged her son and wreaked destruction. Death had robbed her. Geats had slain Grendel. So his ghastly dam struck back, and with bare-faced defiance laid a man low. Thus life departed from the sage Aesthir, an elder wise in council. But afterwards, on the morning following, the Danes could not burn the dead body, nor lay the remains of the man they loved on his funeral pyre. She had fled with the corpse, and taken refuge beneath torrents on the mountain. It was a hard blow for Hrothgar to bear, harder than any he had undergone before, and so the heart-sore king beseeched me, in your royal name, to take my chances under water, to win glory and prove my worth. He promised me rewards. Hence, as is well known, I went to my encounter with the terror-monger at the bottom of the tarn. For a while it was hand-to-hand between us. Then blood went curling along the currents, and I beheaded Grendel's mother in the hall with a mighty sword. I barely managed to escape with my life. My time had not yet come, but Halfdane's heir, the shelter of those earls, again endowed me with gifts in abundance. Thus the king acted with due custom. I was paid in recompense completely, given full measure and the freedom to choose from Hrothgar's treasures by Hrothgar himself. These, King Higlac, I am happy to present to you as gifts. It is still upon your grace that all favors depends. I have few kinsmen who are close, my king, except for your kind self. Then he ordered the boar-framed standard to be brought, the battle-topping helmet, the mail shirt grey as hoarfrost, and the precious war-sword, and proceeded with his speech. When Hrothgar presented this war-gear to me, he instructed me, my lord, to give you some account of why it signifies his special favor. He said it belonged to his older brother, King Herogar, who had long kept it, but that Herogar had never bequeathed it to his son Heroweard. That worthy scion, worthy as he was, enjoy it well. I heard 4 horses were handed over next. Beowulf bestowed 4 grey steeds to go with the armor, swift gallopers, all alike. So ought a kinsman act, instead of plotting and planning in secret to bring people to grief or conspiring to arrange the death of comrades. The warrior king was uncle to Beowulf and honored by his nephew. Each was concerned for the other's good. I heard he presented Hygd with a gorget, the priceless stork that the prince's daughter, Wealhtheow, had given him, and 3 horses, supple creatures, brilliantly saddled. The bright necklace would be luminous on Hygd's breast.